Oh, I was going to say good morning, but good afternoon.
Yes, afternoon it is here in Adelaide at least. I don't know what time it is where you are watching at home.
True, true.
Unless you're in Adelaide, obviously.
But welcome to the Great Southern Slam. We've got Adelaide's Light City Derby up against
Auckland Roller Derby, all the way from New Zealand.
It's very exciting. Thanks for coming over, guys. Squee squee LCD being shouted from the bench. And we've just got 20 seconds to go. So Light City donning the orange and the Auckland Bolts in the white and blue. And
Yes. I watched Auckland play yesterday. They're a pretty tough team, so we'll see how they go.
And we should probably introduce ourselves. My name is the Eagle, also known as Gilly.
And my name is Willowmina, and you can call me Willow.
And she is straight on through for the Bolts.
Yeah, that's Ellen McKenzie. Good little jammer from, I say little, she's just small. Sounds really patronising.
Little doesn't
though,
mean
doesn't
much in Derby land.
Absolutely
all
not, no.
shapes and sizes. But, now being held up on her scoring pass, but she breaks it through for a 5-point Grand Slam.
And Malicious there still just fighting her way through the pack. Oh, lovely apex jump there from Ellen McKenzie of Auckland Roller Derby League. Another clean apex jump. I was saying to someone this morning that I saw a lot of failed apex jumps.
Some dirty
yesterday.
jumps.
Some cutting the track jumps, but it is good to see some clean jumps today.
Yeah, when they land it, it is sweet. And we are watching on the feed, so if you're out there listening, please say hello, tell us where you're from. And it is quite hard from our angle to see who is up on the jammer line because there's a wall of blockers in front, but we'll do our best to let you know who is up.
I think it might be number 75, Tora. No, it is number 1111 from LCD, Miss Sire. And Baker, Heartbreaker Baker from Auckland Roller Derby League there for the Bolts.
And Miss Sire hot on her tail. As Heartbreaker Baker calls it off, but okay, that jam ref was still tagging us. It's like, does he know what's going on here?
Yeah, that was 0 for Light City and another 4 for Auckland Roller Derby, I believe.
All right, so we got Malicious lined up for the Light City.
Light City played a very hard game against Convict City last night. One of their jammers copping what looked to be a dislocated shoulder. So
yes,
she is out today. Ramona Powers, our thoughts are with you and your shoulder.
Yes.
May you feel better soon.
Heal quick, Ramona Powers, as Ellen McKenzie takes the lead for the Bolts. Round the outside.
Bean dip under the hips of Commander Strax there.
Malicious makes it through.
She's got 4 points as Chomp Sonia returns to the track.
That was a pretty fast pack there.
Seeing a lot of fast derby, especially during power jams this tournament. It's an interesting tactic, and I guess today for some of these teams it will be their last game, so less energy needing to be conserved and
going for all.
Just going for it, absolutely.
Go home. Go hard or go home. Go hard, then go home. We've got Tora lining up for Light City.
Looks like it could be Baker again for Auckland. Heartbreaker Baker there, I believe. Yes, it is.
You are correct.
She is coming up a fearsome wall of orange. No.
Being caught up there by Hextet and
not an easy initial pass there for either jammer. But it is Heartbreaker Baker getting lead over Tora.
As two of the Bolt blockers return to the track, evening up the score. Oh, and a lovely apex jump there. 4 points for Baker. And welcome Tristan, Squee LCD, big fan. He was around last night.
Yes, Tristan, also known as Vladimir Sputin.
Ah, there you go.
Former member of LCD, but has sadly moved interstate and cannot be here today.
But he's loving the live feed, so thanks for getting involved. And good on the Great Southern Slam this year for broadcasting pretty much everything. As Malicious gets lead for Light City. Squee. And we've got Ella McKenzie jamming for the Bolts, who makes it through. Malicious in there on her scoring pass. There's one. As she gets knocked out by Sassy.
And calls it off. Picking herself up. Looks like 3 points there from the jam ref. So 3 points to 0 there. Taking the Sabres, I think, to 7. And 29 for Auckland Roller Derby League.
So it is early days. We're just 5 minutes in.
Got a 2-2 start here from LCD. Breaking up that tripod pattern a little bit. Let's see if that's going to work for them.
It's not something I've seen too often as they run to meet their blockers at the front. And Ella McKenzie makes it through with a lead for the Bolts.
Beck's rated, it looks like jamming for LCD, but she does pick up a cut track penalty there, not quite realizing that those blockers had gone so far back and recycled her. So she will take a seat and hand the power jammer to Ellen McKenzie,
who did a lovely bean dip on the outside and then a textbook apex jump on the inside for another 5-point pass. She seems very cool, calm and collected as she just gets past Commander Strax for another Grand Slam. Very fast on her feet. On her skates, I should say.
Well, absolutely. She looks pretty relaxed out there. Always nice to see.
Traits of a skilled performer, they make it look easy.
Absolutely. Auckland Roller Derby, they're catching a bunny in a classic power jam strategy there, which forces the blockers at the front out of play and allows Ellen McKenzie through to get more points. 5 more points.
Right, Bexy is back on the track, just made her initial, so she is ready to score some points. And unless Ella McKenzie calls it off before she can, which she does. 1 point to the Bolts on that last pass there, 0 to Light City.
It is the smiling face of Messiah up on the jam line for Light City Derby, and probably Heartbreaker Baker. If they are keeping the same jammer rotation, it is really hard to see from where we're sitting.
We get a clear view now of Heartbreaker Baker as she takes lead around the apex, but Miss Sire not too far behind. And Light City Pack quite broken up by the Bolts as Baker calls it off, scoring 3 points to Light City's 0. So Adam, just letting us know that Ellen McKenzie is a New Zealand rep. So does that mean she plays for the country?
I assume that means she went to the Roller Derby World Cup for Team Aotearoa.
Wow, that is
I
awesome.
assume, because that was not very long ago. So,
all right, and speaking of Ellen McKenzie, she is through with lead.
Possibly having picked up some jamming pointers from Lady Trample. If she is Team Aotearoa.
Of course.
With the Rockstar Glide and the call-off, I do love seeing that.
She scores herself 2 points. Malicious not being able to score on that pass. So 2 full packs out on the track.
Good to see. Yes, we do like a nice clean game where possible.
Oh, and straight up the outside is Heartbreaker Baker. It's a great
even
O
see
from the
her
team.
coming.
as Bex Rated makes it through the apex. And Baker just held up by Graveyard Drift at the front, but she makes it through after a whole straight of being slowed down.
Bex, they're really trying to get those hips in for a point before the whistle, but no dice and no points for Bex in that jam.
No dice.
64 now for the Bolts to the Sabres 7. Judging by a call from the crowd, I'd say we have Miss Saya jamming for the Sabres.
You'd be 100% correct there.
Ellen McKenzie once again jamming for the Bolts.
Oh, and Miss
Saya getting through. The Bolts block are not looking too happy about it. Maybe some contact with the face, but
Pyroclastic Flow just maybe copping it to the lip.
But she's actually going to go and spend some time in the penalty box, and Miss Saya picks up 4 points for the Sabres. So tries to squeak through for and some more sneaky points, but none there.
Ellen McKenzie is all over that.
Absolutely. Pack advantage to the Sabres heading into this next jam with 2 blockers from Auckland sitting in the penalty box.
Pyroclastic Flow, that is an interesting name. If anyone out there knows the meaning, what that's about, let us know. I'd be interested.
I'm trying to remember from my physics days, which encompassed an entire semester at university. And
That's more than I. There's yes, Malicious is out with lead, but not in front. Bit of jammer action. Heartbreaker Baker just getting amongst it. Oh, and she broke through. Oh. Heartbreaker Baker just saying, oh, I didn't do anything naughty. But
2 points for Heartbreaker Baker there as well. So high fives all around on the LCD bench.
Squee LCD.
Indeed. I wouldn't say that Gilly and I are biased, but I am a current member of Light City Derby, and Gilly is a former member of Light City Derby.
Yes, they definitely hold a special place in my heart. It's where I started. As Ella McKenzie makes it on the outside.
Oh, big hit there from Chomp Sonia to free her up from the recycle to get Bex Rated through the pack. And we have some more jammer on jammer action with Ellen McKenzie just doing what she can to slow Bex Rated down.
Oh, but Bexy just not taking it and getting in front.
Bexy here to play derby and not to play pushy with the jammer.
Pushy jammer. I want to get points. That's what she said.
Absolutely.
But Ellen McKenzie calling it off. And we got Malicious back up for Light City. I think that's Heartbreaker Baker for the Bolts. Oh, and Malicious is through for lead.
Messiah trying to chase Baker down there, but not quite making it in time. Doing what they can to try and catch a point or two for Malicious.
Oh, and
someone nearly heading into the LCD cheer squad there, but it is an Auckland skater, so whether they would be welcome or not is another matter entirely.
Lucky that person in the crowd appears to be wearing a safety helmet, so they are prepared for a skate to the face.
Yep, well done. That looks like it is Rad Barron from LCD. Light City Derby, of course, Adelaide's first senior mixed gender league. This is their women's rep squad today, but they do play all gender derby at Light City, so these women out there today quite used to skating up against some pretty fierce blokes.
Yeah, so as Ella McKenzie makes quick work of that pack, coming out the outside and a 5-point pass. Meanwhile, Tora is stuck on the first turn as Ella Mackenzie threw again.
Another sneaky little apex jump, and Lasso Rate there being sent to the penalty box.
Along with Sassy. I'm not sure if it's Sass. What do you reckon, Sass or Sassy?
I couldn't work that out yesterday. I should have asked for pronunciation, really, shouldn't I?
Oh, thanks for showing some love there.
Oh, thanks.
We appreciate it. And, of course, Light City Derby down a pivotal jammer with Ramona Powers being injured last night. So Malicious takes the track again, taking a bit more jamming action.
Absolutely, and we're seeing a bit more jamming from Messiah today as well. She did a little bit of jamming last night, but not as much as she's being forced to do today. So that is...
Messiah, great to watch as a jammer.
Malicious through, but she is not lead jammer. She must have picked up a no pass.
A massive hit there from Trump Sonia. Onto Heartbreaker Baker, still caught up in the pack.
Really good seeing these girls come together and play as a pretty formidable wall of blockers as Bad Wolf there recycles Baker all the way back out of the engagement zone, and Malicious is through for 4 points.
And we've got Pyroclastic Flow heading to the naughty bin along with another Bolt skater and 2 of the Sabres. So
and
a very full bin.
So full bin and not a lot of skaters on the track, but they will do their best, I'm sure, to hold up their
Oh, and Malicious is through with a very nice pirouette, but she wasn't sure about it. She skated off the track just in case.
Yeah, not sure there if she had gone out or not, so better to be safe than sorry, as they say.
Indeed.
But no, she is sorry, and she is going to the penalty box for maybe a cut track. I didn't quite see the hand signal there from the jam ref. So Baker now with the power jam, but also not lead jammer. So this will go out the full 2 minutes. Just sneaking past the hips of Breaking Badass there and picking herself up 5 points.
Some great mohawking there from Heartbreaker Baker, but unfortunately straight into that solid LCD tripod.
Some great work there from Lasso Rate as the last line of defense as the brace in that tripod.
Working with Trump Sonia.
Chompy picking up a cut, or was that Lish? Not quite sure. No, it looks like Malicious will be heading to the box again. So a power start for Ellen Mackenzie. I suspect we are about to have a timeout.
Oh, and we've got a full box of light skitty skaters, I think. 3 off the track.
Looks like 3 off the track, and some sweet moves from Dude of Hazard to call a timeout for the Sabres.
Oh, looking very dapper in that top hat.
Absolutely.
That is a top hat.
Yup, it sure is.
And so a timeout to Light City. What do we got? Score check. Bolts 116 to Sabres 23.
Dude of Hazard having a word to the skaters in the box, and Ferris Wheeler having a word to the skaters in the bench area. And they, of course, have their further coaching from Kablockout in the crowd over there in the high vis.
We've got Knox heading over here in a fabulous fanny pack.
I went looking for one of those this morning. I couldn't find it, so I just have this fruity loveliness.
Cool. It's fruity.
Because, yes, onesies are very comfortable. No pockets.
No pockets. Silly, right? But lucky we've got these very practical bum bags.
Oh, Emma there. Emma Geddon saying yay Sabres from one of their littlest fans. That would be little Helena, only a few months old, and the daughter of one of our male skaters.
Wow, a few months old, and she's already on the internet. That's incredible.
Well, that's her mum, actually.
I know.
Emma Geddon, one of our NSOs when she's not busy being pregnant / having a baby.
Takes up a bit of time, that.
So I am led to believe.
But just mentioning NSOs, thank you to the NSO crew and officials crew and referees for doing an awesome job. We've got the Bolts Benchy Bruiser out on the track.
Distributing advice or possibly helmet covers. It's always difficult to tell. It's now into an official timeout, so not quite sure what's going on, but some words to the bench staff. So
and we've got Lasso Rate and Bad Wolf, the lone Light City blockers out there up against a full pack of Bolts.
yeah, not a situation that I would enjoy being in, but they are a pretty fearsome duo. They play together on the same home team, so
they do work really well together on the track.
and two very good blockers as a general rule anyway. So,
but we've got New Zealand skater Ella McKenzie. Lasso Rate giving her a run for her money, but she makes it through for lead. And a chance now for the Bolts to score a stack of points.
yeah, picking up 3 points for every 2 blockers they pass at the moment is quite a handy way to be.
Yeah, you could call it a bargain round.
Absolutely.
2 for 4, 2 for 5.
Yeah, or 5 for 2.
5 for 2, that's more like it. Oh, as they all skate back on together.
Yeah, all heading to the box pretty much at the end of the last jam. So
Oh,
all
and Bad
finishing their
Wolf is
penalties at
down.
the same time.
And Ella McKenzie getting called for a high block there and sent to the reflection section.
Reflection section, I enjoy that.
I learned that one yesterday from
Nice.
fellow commentator Briggs, so thanks for that one, Briggs. It took me about half an hour to get it right after a whole day of derby. There's a lot of syllables in that.
There really are, but it's a good one.
Reflection section.
Some lovely offense there from the Light City Sabres, getting some power jam points there for Malicious.
And if you check out the jam ref's 5-point pass form, you can see his little thumb wiggling about, telling us that Malicious scored a 5.
Yeah, usually for some
and there we go
refs,
again. It's like a little worm.
Indication that they've picked up the jammer's point normally, the thumb wiggle.
As Ella McKenzie makes it through again for another 4 points. And a rock star slide there from Lasso Rate.
Looks like Ellen McKenzie with a slight wardrobe malfunction there. She's trailing a thread behind her. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
She's caught a thread on some Velcro, or
gradually coming undone.
Maybe her entire jersey is unraveling.
Oh.
Let's hope not. Nobody wants that.
No. It's a bit too cold for that today here in Adelaide.
Absolutely. It's fine for us sitting here in our onesies, but these skaters out here wearing very lovely sporting attire would probably not appreciate their entire uniform unraveling on them. Comment there that we can't repeat on air, but needless to say that Lass and Wolfie scare the pants.
Poop. We can say poop.
Poop out of Vladimir Sputum as a pair and individually maybe. A more perfect combo doesn't exist, is his comment.
As Heartbreaker Baker takes the lead and a 5-point pass.
Bex Rated still just trying to push her way through a very dense pack of skaters, actually, and very slow pack of skaters.
And she took the penny off, which helped her get through that pack. She's putting it back on now.
Penalty to one of the Bolt skaters there, probably also helping a little bit to get through this pack, but not very much when you have a very fearsome tripod. Tora doing her best to offer some offense, but not enough.
Great hit there from Momo Malicious.
Yeah, I think this might be Momo's first tournament, her first game last night as a women's Sabre.
Oh,
so
great. Oh, she's doing well.
she's doing really great for someone who has only just come into the rep side for the Sabres.
Yeah. Bexy has stashed the star. She might be looking for a pivot at this point of the jam. With less than 30 seconds to go, it is very tiring. Tora taking a nap on the ground.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bex's pivot there lying on the ground, so unable to receive the star at that point anyway, but it looks like there has been a star pass now.
Yep.
Yes, and probably legal. I can't see any problems with that, so...
But Bex must have managed to get all 4 points before she passed the star. And before Heartbreaker Baker calls it off. Oh, big jam there for the Bolts, 24.
And a timeout. Maybe just giving the jammers a chance to rest their legs.
And Ellen is also known as the slippery fish, according to Adam Baines, which I can agree with that. Yep. She's barely touching the sides.
Absolutely. She finds gaps that don't exist and just slides right on through there. So,
And Tristan asking, what do they feed him over there in the land of the small brown kiwi? I think it's a lot of fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Or chips and fish. Straight out of the chili bin. I don't know. What's another fine New Zealand cuisine? I've never been there myself, have you?
I have. I mostly just remember eating lots of cheese, maybe.
Cheese is the bomb.
Probably dairy country. Fudge, actually, I remember eating. And burgers. They do really good burgers in New Zealand.
Yum, you're making me hungry. It is about lunchtime.
Yes. I, unfortunately, am commentating this game and 2 afterwards, so I'm not quite sure when I will get to eat lunch.
Oh, a great hit there from Breaking Badass, taking Ella McKenzie back to the start line as Messiah is trying to hit through the front, but Ella McKenzie found the outside and took it. She is a slippery fish.
Absolutely.
And Messiah taking a nice mohawk around the outside there to get through.
As Venus Thigh Trap heads to the penalty box. Missed what that one was, but I'm sure it was naughty. As Messiah comes around to try and pick up some more points for the Sabres. And taking down some skaters and picking herself up 4 points.
She looks happy about that.
Messiah always looks happy when she scores. She
Why wouldn't you be happy
always
scoring?
a victim of the hit it and quit it style of derby, which means often she doesn't get points.
Right, well, she got 2 points there in that last pass, and even Steven with Ella McKenzie, so that's great work there from Messiah. One is her number.
All of the ones in Messiah's number.
All of the ones.
As yes, as a she quite often acts as pivot and is often gets the star and just misses out on points. So anytime she scores points as a jammer, she has a big grin on her face.
She's like, squee, points. As Malicious is looking for the outside line, but stopped by, I think that was Pyroclastic Flow. Heartbreaker Baker out for lead as Malicious just on the outside and she's through.
Yeah, finds the outside line and scoots around.
Heartbreaker Baker back already and makes it past Commander Strax by some nice line work hopping.
1 point there for Malicious. She got her hips in front of somebody else just in time to pick up a sneaky point before Baker called off the jam.
And those long legs helping her with the extension of the hips there.
She does have very long legs, very long tattooed legs. She quite likes her tattoos. Does Malicious. And also skydiving.
Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact about Malicious. She's about to head to the national competition for skydiving.
Oh, there's a competition?
I did not know that was a competitive sport, but then a lot of people don't know that derby is a real sport. So
that's true. It definitely is a real sport.
Definitely. We are here to attest to that today.
And we are watching an amazing athlete, Ella McKenzie, just duking her way around that Light City tripod for a 5-point grand slam. And Tristan, you're right, these Bolts jammers are incredible to watch. Oh, and she threw again. Must be all those fish on chops. Brew. There seems to be a bit of a cluster there. Graveyard Drift is holding that inside line, not letting Ella McKenzie through, and now she's taken herself to the naughty bin. I'm not sure what she did.
No, I didn't see a hand signal there, but I'm sure she deserved it. Vex rated now with the power jam for the Sabres. I do miss the old inside whiteboard. It was a great source of information for pretty much everyone except the NSOs who all have it on paper anyway.
It was helpful, but now we can just make stuff up, and I think that's a little bit more fun sometimes. Oh, we have a panty down. There is a panty down, and Chomp Sonia stretching out underneath the Bolts player to grab it, and she's picked it up and held up by the Bolts pivot. Sass.
No, so that star pass has not yet been completed legally. So Chomp Sonia being sent back to the pack as a blocker by the ref there.
Handing. Whoa, and we've got a
stacks on situation.
All the skaters down.
As Bex Rated takes the panty back and completes the pass there.
Graveyard Drift is taking her time getting up. I hope she's okay.
Graveyard Drift is pretty much unbreakable. So
she's sucking in a few big ones there. So taking a well-earned rest. All the fashion chops. Yeah, bro. As Dapper Dude enters the middle of the track, he has something to say. And now there looks to be an official review. Not an official review, sorry, an official timeout. I think they were just querying that star pass that they didn't think was a star pass.
Yeah, well, the panty cover went down.
So she picked it up off the floor. That's the problem.
Chomp Sonia picked it up off the floor. I'm not sure if there was some illegality there.
So the pivot needs to take it from the hand of an in-play jammer. So, of course, the panty being on the ground is not from the hand of the jammer.
Had a fun situation yesterday where the jammer then tried to do take backsies and couldn't quite understand why she was being called for a failure to return penalty as she continued to skate out of play.
Funny, you know these rules, you know what the rules are, but in the hecticness of the game, you were just trying to do anything to get some points.
Absolutely. Just have it to remember, no take backsies after a star pass.
I know when I'm jammer and I'm not lead and I still try caller, it's like, hell. Oh, well, she's right to go back there because I saw her skate hit the outside of the track.
Hit the outside. She tried to jump around but landed outside of the track boundaries.
And as Heartbreaker Baker takes the inside.
And Messiah just trying to push her way through, and she is out from her initial pass.
And Sass sent to the naughty bin.
As Sassy takes a seat.
Heartbreaker Baker just weighing up her options, taking the outside, and glad she did because she's made it through for 4 points.
Hex trying that old backwards sweep, but not quite catching her in time. Messiah there celebrating, picking up some points.
3 points, in fact. She is chuffed, as you would be.
Absolutely chuffed.
And just a score check, we've got the Bolts on 199, almost cracking the 200, and the Sabres on 50. With just over 2 minutes to go in this first half. So we are here on day 2 of the Great Southern Slam. I think we're about halfway through right now. Of this 3-day massive epic, biggest in the world tournament.
I mean, what time is it now? Is it about 1 o'clock?
It is about 1 o'clock.
So not quite halfway through, really, because we'll be here for another 8 hours.
Whoa, when you put it like that.
And I do put it like that.
It's not enough, Derby.
And there's still a whole other day after that.
Yes. And then we party. We've got Malicious up for Light City Derby.
super dense pack work and super defense going on from both teams. Bex Rated coming around, trying to stop Ellen McKenzie, but unable to do so. Just a super jammer, that one.
She's really working the diamond of the track, getting nice and close on the apex, getting as much speed as possible. As Riley Coyote heads to the naughty bin for a multiplayer block. Thank you for pointing that out for us.
Always nice when the skaters tell us what they've done to earn their place in the penalty bin. We will get at least one more jam in this half before we head to half time.
We've got Messiah on the inside of the track up against Heartbreaker Baker.
Just sizing up her options there.
Hextet giving her a run for money.
Tora team up to try and stop Heartbreaker Baker, but it is super hard. But it looks like Messiah is now through for her scoring pass, through on her initial pass as Bad Wolf heads to the box.
Oh, and Hextet just takes down Heartbreaker Baker after a massive jump. And
Baker giving Hextet a bit of a round of applause there.
Yeah, that's a good hit. Yep.
Hex, not the biggest of blockers, but sending Heartbreaker Baker flying there. So
as we said before, size does not matter in Derby.
Absolutely not. If you've got the strength to take someone down, you do it.
As the bolt tripod moves back on the pack. Ellen McKenzie around the outside, really favouring that outside off the line. And Malicious working her way through, and she's out. Oh, Ellen McKenzie is already here and straight through the pack.
Yeah, just keeping her eye on Malicious there as tries to come around and pick up some more points before half time. Bad Wolf getting in on the action there, trying to stop Ellen McKenzie, but as they say, she is a slippery fish. She just slides right on through there and straight past Malicious as well, picking up 5 points on that pass.
Wow, some beautiful weaving and juking there from Ellen McKenzie. I want to be like her when I grow up. And Malicious out as well with 4 points for Light City.
Ferris Wheeler over in the penalty box, the Light City bench area, trying to photobomb a selfie. Well done.
Well, he does have a beautiful face, so I would highly encourage him to do that. And we are heading into half time, so shall we take a break?
Take a break. We'll be back. Might even try and find something to eat because I'm starving.
And we'll be back in about 15 minutes. See you soon, folks.
See ya.
And we're back for the second half with just 3.5 minutes to go of the intermission, but we thought we'd do a bit of a roll call.
Yeah, we did run out of time to do that before we started, so
let's kick off with the Adelaide Roller Derby League. Oh,
Auckland.
I saw A and I went straight to Adelaide. My apologies. Edit that later. Auckland Roller Derby League ARDL from New Zealand. They are the Bolts. And we've got number 13, Benedictor. Number 14, Venus Thigh Trap. 1902, Pyroclastic Flow. 23, Steve. 25, Riley Coyote. 27, Smith. 36, Heartbreaker Baker. 49, Sass. 76, Resident Evil. And 86, Ellen McKenzie. Helping out in the bench is Fatal Traction, Schrodinger, and Bruiser. And also mentioned here is 001 Killjoy, 314 Kelty, and 64 Skate the Muss. But unfortunately, I don't think they're skating out on the track today, but worth a mention.
I'm also told that Sarge is in their bench area helping them out.
Sarge.
So there you go. And for Light City Derby, local team from Adelaide, we have Bex Rated, Messiah, Bad Wolf, Chump Sonia, Commander Strax, Malicious, Hexstat, Graveyard Drift, Breaking Badass, Tora, Momo Malicious, and Lacerate. And their benches are Dude of Hazard, Ferris Wheeler, and Kablockout. And shout out to their Cribble crew, Ramona Powers, Coding Kitty, Strawberry Smash Mouth, and November Pain, all having to sit out this tournament due to injury or otherwise.
Them's the breaks. Sorry.
Now, we did have a question before the break about the ranking of Light City Derby. Now, they are not a Woofed League because they can't be, because they are actually part of Light City Derby's mixed league. So they don't have a ranking. They finished last year's Great Southern Slam Div 2 5th, 6th, something like that.
Okay.
I can't quite remember. But very different divisions last year as well. Many more teams in Div 1 and Div 2. A little bit of a gentler competition. So difficult to say exactly what their ranking is.
The Great Southern Slam having 3 divisions this year.
Auckland's sitting at 189 on the Woofed rankings, but unfortunately we can't compare them to LCD because they're not a Woofed league.
They've got boys in their league.
We have boy germs, it's true. So
that's okay. Nobody's complaining. As we get ready for the second half, we've got a 2-2-2 for the Bolts.
Excellent, my favourite score that, just about.
2-2-2-2-2-2-2. And 54 for the Sabres. And lots of teams are working out what happens after this bout because, of course, we're heading into all the quarterfinals, semi-finals, etc.
We are. Now, Auckland lost to Convict City yesterday from memory. I should remember. I commentated the whole thing on my own, but I'm fairly certain they did lose to Convict City, so that will take them to 1 win. Convict City with 2 now. If Auckland...
This game ain't over yet, man.
Hold on to their lead and win, and then something numbers, something differential. People keep telling me things, and I don't quite understand how that's happening.
Ooh,
so Malicious now with a power jam as Baker heads to the penalty bin. Big cheers from the crowd here, of course, being a local league. They can get a few supporters in to give him a cheer.
And a nice inside clear there from Messiah. Malicious just taking a bit of a whip off Hexstat, making it around the apex for a Grand Slam.
It's 5 points for Malicious and the Light City Sabres.
As Heartbreaker Baker gets ready to return to the track. Oh, Malicious hit with the back block and sent to the sin bin. This is going to be a 2-minute jam. Oh, it was looking like a good start there for the Sabres.
Heartbreaker Baker goes down, but her team giving her some good offense.
And Messiah just clipping her on the outside, holding her up. And
Some
Bab will
big hits from Hexter today. Hex has brought the gun show today. She is killing it out there. I've not ever seen Hex play like this. It's awesome to see.
the excitement of a tournament can really bring out those sometimes quieter players.
Absolutely.
They just have to step up.
Some amazing solo blocking there out the front by Miss Sire.
Oh, and Bab with apologising for a penalty she just inflicted on a Bolts player. And a beautiful apex jump there from
Lovely. Over the hips of Miss Sire. Beautiful there by
Heartbreaker Baker. She's
Heartbreaker
breaking
Baker.
hearts with that apex jump. And Malicious around for
Malicious,
another 4
yeah,
points.
back on track and back around for 4 more points. And Heartbreaker Baker really struggling to get through in that last pass. No points for Malicious on that last pass. 4 points for Baker, but not easily earned points, that's
And
for sure.
13-13 in that jam. So the Sabres coming out with something to fight about.
Even Stevens in that jam, so
And Tristan saying that the Sabres are ranked #1 in my heart. Isn't that beautiful?
we don't call him Vladimir Sputum for nothing. You make me want to vom.
Ah.
But you know
I
I
love
love
it.
you.
Double step? Please explain. And ref donning some various country patches on himself. Obviously gets around. It's pretty cool. Squee squee LCDs, cheering happening.
And if you are interested, you were asking earlier what a pyroclastic flow refers to.
Yes.
It is the fast-moving current of hot gas and volcanic matter, collectively known as tephra, that moves away from a volcano.
Wow. All I got out of that was hot gas.
Yeah, me too.
No, but that does sound scary and painful.
The gases can reach temperatures of about 1,000 degrees centigrade.
Ooh, that's warm.
Yeah.
And we have an official timeout at the moment. John Ref Kennedy skating around telling people what's what. That's Mr. Spew to you, Willow.
No, silly. Mr. Spew is a men's skater and has skated for the Wizards of Oz, so it's not Mr. Spew to you at all.
Yep. And they've sorted out whatever was going on. We've got Bex Raided, who looks to be up there by herself. Can't quite see past the Bolts box here, but there's 2 Bolts players sitting in the sin bin, including Gemma Heartbreaker Baker. So Bex Raided is pumped to get some points, but Bolts keeping this pack very fast. And she is through for lead for Light City.
Taking nearly a full lap there to get through
Yeah.
the pack. A very fast pack. Not so much necessarily heavy blocking, but a very fast pack there for Bex to try and get through to score
And she's
some much needed points for the Sabres.
through again, just ping-ponging off those Bolts blockers as Hannah Heartbreaker Baker returns to the track without the star, getting her initial. And Bex Raided hits the pack with force. She's going to call it. Oh, and she may have called it a bit too late. Oh, no. Right on time. She scored 1 point to the Bolts 0. And Adam Baines just talking to himself. That's handy.
Yeah, I think maybe when you watch this back, maybe the comments come up in earlier and he may be making a note in the feed for him to have a look at again later.
Yeah, look out for that double step. As we've got Ella McKenzie taking that very favoured outside line and very rewarding too for the Bolts getting lead. And she's already back again before the pack can move past the apex. Oh, she makes it look so easy.
Yeah, I'm jealous of how easy she makes it look, to be honest. Saya trying to push past. She's on one skate, but push up.
Slippery
Sorry,
fish through again.
Pushed out of bounds, so still just fighting her way through. It looks like she's cleared her initial pass now, but Ellen McKenzie just coming around, scooping up some more points.
Already racked up 3 passes. And Messiah just tripping into the back of that Bolts pack and having a little giggle about it.
Lassarate coming back to try and give her a hand, or a butt as it may be, giving her a bit of a hip to push past some blockers with. Ellen McKenzie coming around once again, picking up the jammer lap point as well. And a big stack out of bounds there by Lass and
taking out Benedicta. And another curly worm thumb 5-point pass from Ella McKenzie. She is just skating laps here.
Messiah picking up 4 points, looking quite tired to be perfectly honest. And that is the end of the jam.
Epic jam there from Ella McKenzie. I don't know if the scorers kept up with all those 5-point passes. It looks like she made 33 out of that jam, which that's my record for the weekend. Fantastic work there from the Auckland Roller Derby blocker. Messiah managing to score 4 points in there. Wow, 33 points. That's amazing. Oh, and Heartbreaker Baker just trying to stay on track with one skate there, but getting some sort of penalty. And Tora is in that messy pack somewhere. She's out the front. Can she get through with a little help from Hextet? And there's a no pack call, so she escapes for lead jammer. Because we have Heartbreak Baker in the bin. Just joined by Malicious from Light City. Tora just trying to squeeze her way through a tripod.
Yeah, trying to squeeze her way through a gap that's not quite Tora-sized. And recycled back there by the Auckland blockers.
Pyroclastic Flow having a great bout. Releasing some of that hot gas, maybe.
Possibly.
And it's good to hear that Linton is learning something today, a jammer lap point. Of course, earning a 5-point pass when you pass the jammer as well as all the other blockers. And Heartbreaker Baker just hitting those blockers hard, but being held up by Hextet, Commander Strax, and Bad Wolf.
Some beautiful recycling to the front and waterfalling by the Sabres blockers as Heartbreaker Baker heads to the penalty box for a forearms penalty.
And a 5-point pass from Tora.
As well as an upcoming power start for the Sabres. Not quite sure if Tora called off that jam or if it timed out, because I wasn't paying attention to the jam clock because it's directly behind my head.
Yeah, it's pretty much a yoga move to see the scoreboard and the timer here. And I'm getting your neck workout. And Adam Baines pointing out Ellen's center of gravity is somewhere near her ankles. She is incredible.
Yeah, really tough to knock over and getting really low, ducking under some of the skaters' hips. Just incredible to watch.
Yeah, I think her trick is she just doesn't hit people. She jukes them. She's got amazing footwork. And amazing ability to be able to shift very quickly. And just while we've got an official review here, I might do something.
Something. Dun dun. I might talk about our sponsors.
Okay.
The Great Adelaide Showgrounds. Obviously, without them, we would not have a venue for 5 tracks of Derby awesomeness over these 3 days of the long weekend. So a big thank you to our fabulous venue. Also to Rydell Skates. 70 years have been the innovative leader in the roller skating industry. Unmatched quality, unmatched performance. Probably a few skaters out there today with some Rydell skates on. And you can find them in the vendor village as well, if for some reason you are listening to this feed but are at the venue.
It could happen. You never know.
I understand that earlier some of the Adelaide roller derby skaters were listening to the feed from this track as the Adelaides played, but they were on door duty.
Yeah,
So
that was a cracking bout between Adelaides and Sydney. Adelaides just scraping through for a win. But
if you can
intense.
watch that back on the, not live feed, but the archive footage, definitely worth a watch.
And the officials seem to have worked it out. Got Breaking Badass on the inside line there, just trying to get an inch. But Venus Flytrap not letting her anywhere near it.
Yeah, nice start up on the pivot line. Don't see that very much anymore. Sometimes you think you're about to see it and then everybody shuffles backwards towards the jammer line.
And my apologies, it was Benedicta holding that inside line very strongly, but Bex Raider is out with lead. As Trump Sonia goes to the penalty bin. Oh, and she's through for a 5-point pass. Just hopping through on the inside there. Heartbreaker Baker returns to the track and almost found that inside line.
Yeah,
Very
Graveyard Drift
energetic.
trying to chase her down, but just not fast enough. I mean, Heartbreaker Baker, a very fast skater there, so pretty tough to chase out of a pack.
Bex rated scoring 4 points before calling it off there. And we have Malicious lining up for Light City Derby. And I can see some blue and white socks out there. I just can't make out who it is. It might be Ella McKenzie, the slippery fish.
I suspect it is Ellen.
Yeah.
If their jammer rotation is staying true to form. Bit of jammer on jammer action. Malicious giving the old hip to Ellen McKenzie. And it works for her. She gets out in front. Picks up lead jammer over Ellen McKenzie. Got to be happy with that, the way this game's going.
But Ella McKenzie is hot on her tail. And just getting in front on the inside. Oh, and Malicious called it there, but Ella McKenzie...
A little bit too late, but she gives a shrug. What can you do? She's happy.
Super fast. 4 points there to Bolt.
Looks like we're having a change up in the Bolts jammer lineup because that is Baker acting as pivot. And
new jammer, who we got?
It might be, trying to remember from yesterday, maybe Smith. She was jamming a little bit yesterday. But I don't think it is because I think I can see Smith blocking. No, I can't. That is Smith.
It is number 27, Smith. You are correct. Being held up by Lasso Rate, Graveyard Drift and Tora at the front. It looks like it's soon to be a no pack.
Someone getting possibly called for a cut track penalty there, but
Miss Sire just working her way around Steve, but she has been called a cut track penalty.
So that will be a power jam for Smith for the Bolts.
The Bolts have got 2 bunnies at the back here. Oh, and they are letting them pass. As Smith makes it round for a 5-point grand slam.
Graveyard Drift there trying to do some damage at the back and holding the pack for the Light City Sabres.
And Smith deciding to ice the jammer there. So we've got Messiah still in the sin bin.
And Ellen McKenzie will be taking the power start for the Bolts.
I have a feeling this is going to be a very quick quick get out by Ellen.
A quick start probably for Ellen. Her blockers look to be lining up to provide some offensive assistance. The Sabres trying.
Oh, and she takes the inside line for something different, and it works. Oh, and a low block there from Malicious, just tripping up Ella McKenzie as she makes her way through.
Yeah, one of those unfortunate low blocks that can occur.
Definitely not deliberate, that's for sure.
Not deliberate, but someone's skates getting caught up in another skater's skates and they go down. It does happen, and it is a penalty, regardless of whether you meant to do it or not.
Oh, and Messiah just knocking down Bolt's skaters as she's trying to make her way to the front, and she just sneaks around. But eyeing down Ella McKenzie, who does a rock star apex jump and gets back up.
Messiah now out on her scoring pass, which is good.
The slippery fish just glides on through the inside as Messiah hands the panty over to Malicious.
It would be probably beneficial if Lish got that start on her head because this is a scoring pass, but that's okay.
Oh, she's got a lot to think about.
Absolutely.
And not sure how Messiah must have scored that 1 point before she took the star off.
Yeah, she was on her scoring pass and did come into the back of the pack before passing the star, so scoring 1 point before the star pass occurred.
The jam refs do an amazing job of keeping track of all the points and the hips passed and all that. I've tried it once and it was very hard.
Yeah, trying to keep track of who's passed who. Someone might tell you that I sassed a jam ref earlier today and told them that jam reffing is really hard because you have to be able to count all the way up to 5.
Harder than it sounds.
I got a very distinctive hand signal along the lines of, you can kiss my butt. But he was also a very sassy jam ref, so we got along just fine, and I do actually appreciate how hard it is to keep track of who has passed who, especially in this age of derby where we see so much recycling and trying to keep track of who hit you out, who was in front of you, who was behind, whose hips have you passed. It is actually very taxing. I was just giving him some sass because I could, because someone put a microphone in my hand. Fools.
And Smith lining up again for the Bolts. Looking for the outside, but getting stopped there by Bex Rated and Chump Sonia and Lassarate having a great blocking second half. Chump Sonia just cuddling in there and letting go.
Tora fighting with 4 white blockers at the back here. A pretty fearsome formation of blockers from Auckland as she tries to make her way through.
Some great communication happening in that pack from the pivot, just making sure that Resident Evil is bridging for them.
And some really good offense there from the Sabres getting their jammer through, but unfortunately picking up a forearms penalty, so Tora will go and take a seat in the penalty bin.
Bummer. As Smith comes out and calls it off, icing the jammer again, and there's that little wiggly worm for a grand slam. And I might just take this opportunity to mention our ref crew. We've got John Ref Kennedy, Appalling, Happy Cadaver, Lobo Cop, Jammy Slamister, What the, Always Latte, and our NSO crew, Body Knox. That's 2 different people. Dr. Howe, Chuckles, Slice Skater, Rated Edge, a lot of Amazon, Betty Yokosuka, Lucky Phil, and Knox appears twice.
Knox might be crew head NSO, so she's up the top and then down the bottom as well.
Correct, you are. As Ella McKenzie comes around for a grand slam.
Chompy takes a seat quite hard. Hope the old coccyx is okay there, but she seems to be up and heading to the bin just fine. And Tora has been released from the penalty bin. but still not having very much luck getting around these Auckland blockers. There's only 2 of them on the track as number 49 returns from the penalty bin. That is Sassy, but...
oh, and Tora just getting past the hips of Venus Thigh Trap.
She has pushed her way through, which is very good news for Tora.
Oh, and a nice knockdown there. Can't quite see who that skater was.
Yeah, a little bit of a tap there and falling down on the outside. Some great blocking happening up the front by
an aeroplane.
By Breaker there. Unfortunately picking up a multiplayer block for her troubles, but good work slowing down Ellen McKenzie. It's not an easy thing to do. So
unable to slow her down on that pass with a beautiful bean dip on the outside. She is racking up the points. 28 already in this jam. And she scores another Grand Slam. So that's quite a few.
But not without a tumble to the ground.
Yeah.
Not Light City Sabres not making it easy for her.
And another 5-point
another 5-point
So
pass
that
there.
brings that jam to 38 points for Ellen McKenzie.
Woo.
That is amazing.
That is a pretty good jam in anyone's books.
And that's the biggest I've seen this weekend at the Great Southern Slam. 38. Gosh. And we've got a timeout called to the Bolts. Is anyone still out there listening to us? Hello. Give us some words if you're there. Or a cough.
This samosa is much spicier than I had anticipated.
Oh, that's a spicy samosa.
Indeed.
And we've just got over 12 minutes left in this second half. Bolts on 352 and the Sabres on 96. And I think the Sabres will be able to pack up skates after this and party, basically.
I suspect that is true.
Partying at the Great Southern Slam is one of the highlights for coming. It's not just about the derby, it's the community, it's the party, it's the daggy dancing and the costumes. And we've got Smith lining up for the Bolts up against Malicious. And a full pack from both teams.
Yeah, we have an empty penalty box for the first time in a little while.
All I can see is Lass and Bexy staring at me on the booties.
Bexy's booty is a sure sight to behold.
It's
you can't miss her. Bex actually has a range of great shorts.
Oh, and Heartbreaker Baker just getting knocked to the curb there and come back with a big shoulder hit on Bex Rated. Smith is still fighting her way through. Malicious is out, but she is not lead. As Smith calls off the jam.
Looking a bit weary there, Smith. Those Sabre blockers not making it easy for her to get through the pack.
Oh, we've got a new jammer out for Light City Derby. It looks like Hexdet. The crowd giving her some support up against Ella McKenzie. Is she a regular jammer for the Sabres? I don't know.
Not sure. I know I've seen Hexdet jam for her home team.
And Ella McKenzie just gives Bad Wolf some biffo and then takes the outside. Is Hexdet trying to sneak in on the inside. And Ella McKenzie just jumps through on the inside.
Picks up a cut track penalty, so that apex jump, not a clean one. One of those dirty apex jumps that we've been seeing.
Dirty jump, giving Hexdet a whole 30 seconds to grab some points, and her team can focus on helping her.
And big cheers from the crowd as Hextech comes around for her scoring pass.
They've got Benedicta at the back to try and slow the pack down, but Hexted has been knocked out by a Venus thigh trap and heading right back again. Let's
right
start
to the
again.
back of the engagement zone to try again. Getting some nice help there from Drifter, but still finding herself outside the track boundaries as she comes back on once again. Oh, Drifter just knocking Venus flying there. Hex trying to just push her way through, get some points on the board for this jam.
Oh, Ellen McKenzie scrapes through, scoring another 4 points for the Bolts as Hexter, just slams
Tries to charge
Venus
through.
thigh trap to the ground with those pointy shoulders. And she's taken off the star now. She's would be quite happy to give it up to Messiah, which she's done. There's Ella McKenzie.
Not getting
does
much
another lap.
benefit from that, except that Messiah has some fresh legs with which to skate around and try and pick up a few points.
But Hexted scoring her 5 points before she did that pass. Great work.
Great work there. Of course, scoring 5 points because for some of that time, Ellen McKenzie was in the penalty box. And now Hexted goes, you know what? I'm going to work here with Chompy and try and do some blocking.
A beautiful nooking there by Chomp Sonia, but then the assist from Sass got her out the way for the jammer.
But 4 points there for Messiah having taken the star, so she'll be happy with that.
We've got Bolts on 374 to the Sabres 105. The Sabres have cracked the 100. And the jam ref there just making sure that 5th point was counted. As the I think the the jammers weren't sure if the beautiful jump there on the outside from Heartbreaker Baker, which was a bit of a confusing start.
Malicious trying to sneak around on the inside there, but getting it recycled once again by these Auckland blockers. Bexy there giving some good offense to get Malicious out and onto a scoring pass.
But Hannah Baker finds a clear path through and Mohawks around and calls it off. Commander Strax is on the ground. We're just going to... the skaters will likely take a knee and we'll see what happens there. Just to give you an update on what's happening, we had Commander Strax with an injury in the middle of the track. We're just giving her a minute there to see what was happening, but she has hopped herself off the track with a cheer from the crowd, so hopefully she's all right, but we'll keep you updated if we get anything more.
Yeah, certainly in a lot of pain there. A friend of mine, Commander Strax, she's a pretty stoic individual, so for that level of pain to be evident, she must be suffering. So our thoughts are with her.
But we are straight back into it with Tora jamming for Light City. And I believe that is Ella McKenzie being held up there.
Yeah, Ellen McKenzie gliding back and forth, trying to find her way around.
Tora always snuck through on the inside. Almost. See, this is what happens when you go to the loo, Tristan. Perhaps you've learnt a lesson there. Wait till the end of the game. Kidding. Do we need to do? Oh, and everyone goes down as Tora takes that opportunity, but...
big hit there and sends Tora down onto her butt.
Pyroclastic flow just saying, As Ella McKenzie goes around again for a 5-point pass. I think we need a little button that just says Ella McKenzie around for a Grand Slam, so I don't have to keep repeating myself. Oh, there it goes again. But Tora makes it through, and the crowd is applauding that. Oh, Chomp Sonia just taking out Ella McKenzie. And
fearsome blocking at the front there from Chompy and Saya as Momo holds the pack as best she can.
And Tora being just stopped at the back of the pack here by Benedicta. Working really well with Sassy. And Pyroclastic Flow having a great bout. As Ella McKenzie skates through for a 5-point pass. Tora taking off the star, looking out for a pivot. Oh, she's going to, take that opportunity while you can.
Absolutely, why not? If you take it off and sneak through.
Yeah.
She still picks up 3 points, so good on Tora for taking that opportunity.
Yeah, and by getting out, she put the pressure on Ella McKenzie to call it. But not before she could score 19 points. Man, she is fast. And Bolt have reached the 400 mark. 403 for the Auckland Bolts to Light City, 108. And we have a timeout of some description. I think the Bolts calling a timeout. Good time for the crowd to get involved with a bit of squo also day. A really catchy war cry.
I'll have you know that 6 years ago at this very event, I like to take the credit for coining that particular war cry.
6 years ago, far out.
I heard the rah-rah BCR and I thought we could go one better. And knowing that a certain Rogan Josh in fact hates the word squee, decided that squee LCD it would be, and probably nobody even remembers that. They might not believe me, but they're probably not going to watch this boutcast back anyway.
There's no one here to deny it, so take it while you can. But sometimes these things, they happen organically.
They do. Someone suggests it in jest, and then it becomes a thing. I'm also the inventor of the toasted sandwich at bouts, so,
Oh, wow.
As in, I said I would bring something to the bake sale, and the day of I went, I have nothing. I will take my toasting machine.
And a loaf of bread and a
loaf
slice
of bread and some cheese.
Genius. Oh, I think we've got an official review. My apologies.
Official review now?
Official review from the New Zealand Bolts. Hopefully an official will come over and tell us what's happening,
That would be nice.
because I'm far too comfortable to get out of my chair, sorry.
It is the problem with Onesie Sunday. You just start feeling like you just want to lounge around.
I feel relaxed. We do have lots more derby coming up today for the Great Southern Slam. After this bout, the Div 3 quarterfinals are taking place. And then we have the Div 2 quarterfinals. And lots of various finals happening today. And of course tomorrow having the grand final. And a really cool exhibition bout. We've got the VRDL All-Star skaters up against selected MVPs from Div 1 teams. So that should be interesting. Tune in for that one, folks.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens with that. Oh, timeout official review. That's the hand signals we're getting from Body Bagger.
Right, so have they called both? I'll give them back their timeout, that's what they're saying.
Aha.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. So
Yep.
we have a timeout back on the board and an official review is flashing. I wonder if nobody knows what's going on. We could make some stuff up. Who's in the box? We have Ella McKenzie in the box, so no doubt Bolt are taking this opportunity to challenge that call and get their jammer out of the box. But she's also sitting with two other Bolt skaters, so... Right, so they're just contesting a skating out of bounds call on the Bolt jammer. But the refs disagree and they will stick with their original decision. So the Bolts losing their official review and their jammer remaining in the penalty box, giving LCD a 4-2 pack advantage and a power jam start. So
Looks like we've got that all sorted out now, and the Sabres will start with a slight pack advantage. And apologies if Ellie already said that. Gilly, my mistake. She used to be Ellie, now she's Gilly. Because I was talking to the NSOs.
that's cool. And they're off and they're racing. And Malicious hits the 2 and just steps. Oh, but Heartbreaker Baker steps out as well. So she takes advantage of the no penalty.
But she is not lead jammer, so that will lead position open when Ellen McKenzie returns to the track from her penalty. So she, my mistake, Malicious will want to be scoring as many points as she can as a whole tribe of Auckland skaters return to the track as one body. And
and Bex Raider just saying, Ella McKenzie and Chomp Sonia taking her back.
yeah, I think that Bex and Chomp should be really proud of the way they have blocked in this game, considering Ellen McKenzie's skill.
Yeah, and Malicious just trying to call it off there, not realising she is not the jammer. And
Ellen
that's
McKenzie calls it off.
That's one of the worst things that can happen as a jammer when you've come out first, you think you lead, yeah, I'll call it off, but sorry, no can do.
Yeah, not getting that pointy finger from the jam ref means you cannot call off the jam.
But Sabres scoring 7 in that jam.
And for those playing at home, I am frantically messaging people trying to get you an update on Commander Strax's injury, but they're all busy, actually attending to her by the looks of things at the moment. So...
Unless R8 just decides to say, paint me like one of your French girls in the middle of the track.
Yeah, taking a second there to compose herself before she picks herself up. The floor sometimes comes up to meet you a bit quicker than you thought it would. And
yeah, that floor, you got to look out. Sneaky bugger. As Hexter is being held back by a strong 4 defense from the Bolts. Smith is making it through for a scoring pass as lead jammer.
apologies to anyone from the UK who might be watching, offended by Gilly's language there. Not an offensive word in Australia, but quite offensive in the UK.
I didn't even realise what I said.
Yeah.
Let's not repeat it, but you can tell me later, and I apologise.
Had a conversation the other day with Mel Drama about shenanigans at the Men's World Cup and words they were not allowed to say whilst commentating, and she was quite surprised.
Oh. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Can't even remember saying it. And a 5-point pass there for the Bolts to finish up that jam. And I can hear some summer lovin' happening on track 2. It's always fun.
Not quite sure which hero you are referring to, Spew, whether it is me or Commander Strax, but I'll take it. Oh, hugs. Hugs on the pivot line there. Everyone having a smile and a laugh, and that is what is important.
If it wasn't fun, we wouldn't do it.
Oh, Bad Wolf trying to stop the force that is Ellen McKenzie, but I mean, it's almost impossible to do that, as when she gets her momentum up, she just slides right off you.
She is a machine. Coming around for that 5-point pass.
Ah, the Toasties, yes, well, it was a heroic thing to do and a sacrifice I was willing to make.
And Hexted has taken off her panty, looking desperately for the pivot, and she has managed to pass it to Messiah. I didn't even see that.
Oh, beautiful pass there to
transaction.
Messiah, who was just in the perfect position to take the pivot panty. And, jammer panty, I should say, and scoots out the front of the pack. It's always good to see when you manage a star pass when it's, you know, really worthwhile and you get your star out as soon as you can. So...
Oh, and great work there from Messiah. And, oh, Heartbreaker Baker just taking her out completely, but sent to the naughty bin for that.
Yeah, I think she knew what she'd done.
Yeah.
She was on the way to the box before she even got the signal from the ref. That was a low block, and she knew it.
Got a bit too excited there. Oh, and the ref thinking about giving Chomp Sonia a penalty and giving her one. So Chomp Sonia heads to the penalty bin, and Ellen McKenzie's picking up 3. And we've got less than a minute left in this game. I think it's safe to say the Bolts have taken it.
Yeah, I'd say that is a fairly safe bet at this point in the game, but a valiant effort from the Sabres to pick up 120 points so far.
Sorry, I missed that. So much happening here. We've got other skaters lining up ready to take on the next game. Is that an official timeout? What's going on?
Don't know. Just says timeout. The hand signal I can't see. I'm not even sure if Body knows what it is. There it is. It's an official timeout. I am wondering if Chomp Sonia maybe has fouled out and been replaced in the box.
Ah.
Maybe?
Naughty, naughty Chomp Sonia. I think she got fouled out of last game too.
She did. Chomp Sonia has not had a lot of bout time this year. She's had a lot of training, but she is actually currently a FIFO worker. So
it makes it difficult. But with less than a minute to go, it's not too much damage as Ellen McKenzie gets the lead. But Malicious is very close behind, but having only 1 or 2 Bolt players to get through.
And good news for you at home. I can see Commander Strax up and walking, albeit gingerly. She is walking up to the edge of the ref lane to cheer on her team as they finish up this bout.
Good to hear.
Hopefully not too severe an injury that will take her out for too long. So
And Ellen McKenzie calling it, but I think we've got to squeeze in one more jam.
A timeout called by Auckland, but it's just as to whether they managed to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, we've still got 5 seconds left, so there will be another jam. The Bolts taking advantage of all of their timeouts and official review. Lots of waving happening from the scorekeepers over here on the bench. Oh, we've got a close game over on track 5, I think it is over there. 160 to 174.
I've looked over there more than once and seen tied scores. So
that's always fun.
But that does look like the end of their game over there, and the jam clock just running down. Maybe I'm not sure.
We've got one more jam.
But that's not really
here.
any of our business because we are here on track 4, not on track 5. As Ellen McKenzie shoots past the hips of Messiah to pick up lead jammer for the Bolts in this last jam. Tora doing her best to power on through the pack for the Sabres.
And Ella McKenzie getting incredibly low, heading into the pack and just getting past Messiah without tripping over and coming back around.
Huge cheers from the Sabres fans in the audience as Tora makes it through for her initial pass. And no points in that pass, but as Ellen McKenzie calls it off, but
and that
a great effort nevertheless.
Be the end of the game. And a massive effort there from Light City, but congratulations to the Auckland Bolts scoring a massive 446 points to Light City 124, and that is the final score. It is official. Whew.
What a game. It's great to see some support in the crowd and from you at home. It's been great chatting to you via the feed on the computer.
Yes, thanks for listening in and enjoy the rest of the great Southern Slam weekend.
Absolutely. I believe I'm off to commentate somewhere else now, but you can keep listening to this track, or we have 4 other tracks. Well, 4 other tracks of action and 3 other tracks that are actually being boutcast. So
many options. My name is Gilly. I'm from Adelaide Roller Derby, and I'm here with
Wilhelmina from Light City Derby.
And we are saying goodbye.
I'm saying goodbye for now. It appears I am on track 4 for the next game as well.
Peace out.
Bye.